Hello everyone, welcome back to Dubliners 2019. We're going to do some digging. I've come up with some, first let me say I think it's a given that you'll get more out of this if you have the text in hand while you're watching these or listening to them. This is a story about Halloween. And so know that first off, a lot of tradition. People don't, it's not Halloween in America. They don't go trick-or-treating. There's traditional games that go back hundreds of years. There's a lot of superstition in the story, a lot of Macbeth in it, a lot of numerology, a lot of, you can really dig deep into Joyce. I had a comment, I was going to mention this, but I won't now. I appreciate all the comments and the dialogue, I really do. A lot of people are coming to Joyce for the first time, and that's great too, it really is. There's a real desire for Joyce on BookTube. So, I haven't really dug deep in the videos previous to this, and I'm going to tonight. I'll try to keep it brief. I mean, it's only a few page story, right? And most people are going like, oh, Joyce is hard, is unreadable. Today I had the opposite, and it was a cool conversation. Still friends, of course, but she came at it like, oh yeah, I read Dubliners in high school, and it came at it like kind of snobbish, and you know she doesn't know the half of it. What is this rumbrack stuff, this fruitcake? First of all, it should be two words. Why did Joyce put it into one? Because that's what Joyce does, because he can. That's where you can take Faulkner, how he uses language and words, and take it right back to Joyce. And everybody else too. So let's take the name Maria. There's two Marias in this story. The first part is like the Virgin Mary. Maria is another, name for Mary. She's real virginal at this Dublin laundry, which was a real place. Well, I'll get into that. So she's a veritable peacemaker. That comes from the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew. The blessed be the children of God for the evil, like that. So we've got that. She not only works in this laundry, but she lives there. She has a nice little comfortable room, and everyone is so nice to her there. Count the times that everyone is so nice to her in the story. Everyone is just so nice. Joe goes out of his way to be nice. Why is that? Everyone is so nice all the time. In the second part of the story, she's a crone. It's right off the first few paragraphs, 3 times. It says she had a very long nose and a very long chin. Her great green eyes sparkled with disappointed shyness, and the tip of her nose nearly met the tip of her chin. A few lines down. And Maria laughed again until the tip of her nose nearly met the tip of her chin. Kind of like a witch, huh? She's a very small person. But she's comfortable, too. She nursed Alfie and Joe. She brought them up. I'm not being all picky-human and when I'm talking about words. Joyce picks one word difference. Let me point out some of these. The Whit Monday, when Alfie went to Belfast on Whit Monday trip, it's bad luck to travel on that day. It's also bad luck to buy anything on that day. But Maria goes out and buys the cakes and things when she loses. She knows this tradition. She's kind of a rebel in her own way. the bottom of my first page. Only she hoped that Joe wouldn't come in drunk. He was so different when he took a drink. Now, what do you think? What are the odds of Joe coming in drunk by this in the story? Pretty sure? Yeah. But she's talking about the children. Yeah, I couldn't find... Okay, before that, she's talking about Alfie too, and Joe used to say, Mama is Mama, but Maria, she's my proper mother. Now the word Mama, how it's spelled, M-A-M-M-A, that's Latin for breast. He could have spelled it, how do you spell Mama? M-A-M-A, right? But he spelled it M-A-M-M-A. And not only that, after the breakup at home, the boys got her the position at the Dublin by Lamplight Laundry. What breakup? They're not talking about Maria's breakup, because she's a spinster. She's virginal, which is going to relate to Bob Doran in, is it Counterpoints? Oh, you know, or Boarding House? I think it's Counterpoints. I get confused, you know. No, it's a Boarding House, Bob Doran. Getting back to the story. Nelson's Pillar, and all the I'm going to pop up this is a Victorian era, remember, with it just getting out of the horse and carriage days. They used to have races with the carriages, and there's a word for it, I'll put it in. And the horses would beat the trams, but they all would, the destinations and departures would be at Nelson's Pillar, the Pillar. And back in the mid-90s when I was there, everything was at the Pillar too. That was, the Pillar was bombed it was erected in 1808. They blew it up, the IRA did, in 1966. Samhain is the Celtic New Year. It looks like Samhain. I'll spell it out. Right there, I'll put it right there. Samhain is how you say it. Hallow Eve. Because the day after All Hallow Eve is All Saints' Day. There's a famous Yeats poem. It has nothing to do with that. I promised I wouldn't digress. I'm sorry, people. But, you know me. I do what I do. There's just so much to say about Joyce. Not anymore. Where was I? Still very nice people to live with, the Protestants. You know, she's been living with the Protestants working there. Very nice people, and except for the tracks on the walls. Now, I'm going to pause right here because this is another word I have circled. I forgot to dig deep on. I have it on my phone, bookmarked somewhere. I'll pop it up here. But tracks, not tracks like dog tracks or moose tracks or goose tracks in ice cream or whatever, moose tracks, but tracts, T-R-A-C-T-S. Now, what does that mean? She liked everything, but she didn't like, one thing she didn't like, and that was the tracks on the walls. But the matron, she was such a nice person to deal with, so genteel. I think it's about, meaning the tracks on the wall, this is it was a rescue mission, you know, their mission statement was to rescue and reform all the outcast women in society. So here is spinster Virgin Maria surrounded all by these ne'er-do-wells, drunks and everything. Well, you know, I'm not putting them down. It's a good thing. So anyway, in this brimbrack stuff that she made, you can imagine what it is. It's again, they hide rings and trinkets, made of money, you know, penny here, penny there, that kind of thing. So she knows what's up in the tradition. She cut them herself and all that. And the tip of her nose nearly met the tip of her chin. Ginger Mooney, I could dig deep into, and you could too. the name, the Mooney in different languages, and like I said, Joyce started his genius with Dubliners, not just Ulysses or Finnegan's Wake. Maria's Catholic. The next morning, which would be November 1st, All Saints Day, it's compulsory to go to Mass on that day. So in that paragraph, she's making a distinction between the next day, Mass morning, is different than like everyday Mass. And she's getting ready and she's getting dressed and checking out her diminutive body, which she had so often adorned. In spite of its years, she found a nice, tidy little body. So, good for her. That's a good thing. Because the story is pretty maudlin. It's another death story. Surprise, surprise. Okay, so like Araby, she's arranging in her mind and making all these plans, and she's thinking, she's painting the house, she's painting the barn the night before, she's writing a script. And what happens when you write scripts and people don't follow their lines? You get disappointed, like Araby, like Kid Araby. I will be getting more detailed and digging deeper as the stories progress. I know I'm not going in order. There is a method to my madness, but because the stories start out, they're in 4 groups: childhood, adolescence, maturity, and then public life. And they get more complex as you go along too. So, as evidence that, first example, she's going to buy the plum cake and things like that. Now, this counter lady, the lady behind the counter, stylish young lady, she's a little bit rude to Maria because Maria's taking her time, and she even mentions a wedding cake to Maria. Maria's old. She's, the lady's trying to rush her out of the place, basically. But Maria doesn't really notice that. Blindfold. So she gets on the tram, and when the older lady on the tram, I would get up with and said, of course, I'm on streetcars and trains all day. And the young guys don't notice her and don't even pay attention. But this older gentleman, she points out how different he is, and he talks to her and helps her out. He's real nice to her, huh? Well, because he's drunk. How do I know that? Well, let's see, kind of the bottom of a young man, they're on the train, how he done, last sentence. Bending her tiny head under the rain, she thought how easy it was to know a gentleman, even when he has a drop taken. He was a little drunk. So she leaves the gifts and the cakes and everything on the tram. Now, very mindful. Blindfold on. Maybe makes her want to cry. Disappointed. Now she's at the party, and Joe said it didn't matter, and he made her sit by the fire. There was fire in the beginning of the story. I mentioned in the intro to this whole series, watch Joyce going to the window, going to the fire to see better. And all this stuff, by the way, Nelson's Pillar, it's choreography of Dublin. As you probably know, there's many books online. Just Google it. Maps of, Dubliners taking place. Maps of Ulysses. You can imagine. So he's making her sit. He's making her do this and that. He makes her drink. It makes, drink. Don't you hate? You can imagine pushy people like that. Joe's drunk, and drunks want other people to drink with them. Wait till we get to the dead. Oh, Freddie Malins. So Maria gets into Alfie and Joe too, and they're estranged. And ask any of your Irish friends if they don't have a grudge in their family or some kind of bullshit. I mean, you'll remember the brothers are mentioned at the beginning of the story, and she has nursed them and brought them up. But now they had a falling out, and Maria is as prepared for Joe, walking on eggshells to see how drunk he is, and because she doesn't want to step on his toes or anything, right? No, rub him the wrong way, and that's exactly what she does when she brings up the little tiff that they're having, and Joe gets upset about it, and may God strike me dead if I speak to him again. Well, there's that D word again. Dead. They're all dead. And here we have the third one. The rule of threes. Muriel laughed and laughed again till the tip of her nose nearly met the tip of her chin. Just Joyce. Look at the two first lines of the dead and what story is it where she's a butcher's daughter. Lily was the caretaker's daughter. Just the lilt of it, of the sentences, the cadence of everything. So now what happens? They get the blindfold out. How many times does it say blindfold? I bet it's 3. Let's just say, just take my word for it. So we have this other scene, this little Macbeth scene where the blindfold, they have 3 things. One has a ring, one has water in it, element water, one has clay, earth in it. And they blindfold her, and she felt a soft, wet substance with her fingers and was surprised that nobody spoke or took off her blindfold. Well, why is she surprised? You tell me. There was a pause for a few seconds, and then a great deal of scuffling and whispering. Somebody said something about the garden, and at last, Mrs. Donnelly said something very cross to one of the next door girls and told her to throw it out at once. That was no play. Maria understood then that it was the wrong time, that she had to do it all over again. And this time she got the prayer book, which isn't much better. The prayer book, that means get thee to a nunnery, go, basically. It's a very awkward situation is what it is. Maria had never seen Joe be so nice to her. Why is he being nice? It's awkward. So how can we make it more awkward? Let's have Maria sing a song. Okay. Now, the song is from The Bohemian Girl, which is an opera which is mentioned in Eveline with one of the pros of her going with Frank. Frank's a nice guy. He takes her to shows. But I dreamt that I dwelt. Link below of Enya singing it. I dreamt that I dwelt in marble halls, like that. Really simple song. The point of this is she sings the first verse 2 times, and not the second verse. The second verse is about suitors coming for her hand, and that really inappropriate for this older lady with the tip of her nose coming to the tip of her chin, singing in a high voice in the first paragraph of this. Oh my God, so again, superstitiously, it's bad luck to not finish a song. Did she do this? Was it a unconscious mistake, error, decision? I don't know. You tell me. Joe was very much moved to tears, in fact, right? Oh. And the third time of, cackling old witch from Macbeth. And the lines are, thrice to thine, and thrice to mine, and thrice again, to make up 9. Numerology in play. There's pairs and threes. Maria's the last one to arrive at the Donnellys. She is one of 9 mentioned in the laundry. 9 is a numeral used by Romans for exorcism. There are 9 letters in Dubliners. You can, the Joycean rabbit hole. Okay, I think that about does it. Let me just go over this a little bit. Yeah, so when you're rereading the story in that, think of how she's a Virgin Mary in the beginning of the story and then kind of a crone. And she's got a little bit of mischief in her. Is she happy with her life? I think so. She's content. Is she going to live out her life in the dirty Dublin laundry? Or Joe's offered to take her in. She likes her independence. Joe's wife is awful nice to her. Maybe she'll meet up with Eveline. So, hope you enjoyed that. Hope you got a little out of it. Make a comment below. Hey, like and subscribe. Why not? I'm going to be getting into some things. Like I said, there's a real desire for some joys on BookTube. See what I can do. Ta-ta.